Hey, Divine Dawning. Grand rising, grand rising. How you doing? You well? Hey, how you doing? Divine Dawning. Hey, how y'all doing? Grand rising, Divine Dawning. How's everybody doing? Hey, babes. Hey, Authentic Energy. How you doing, girl? Hey, Cass. Everybody all right? Good. Glad everybody all right. That's good. That's good. Divine Dawning. Yes, indeed. So, let's get all up in it and all of that, shall we? Without any further ado, let's do this. Right. So, let's all start universe. Ask a message of truth, healing, love, and light today. Hey, girl. I'd like to know what the collective message is for today. What are we to focus on? What feelings may come up today? Just want a little heads up. Just a little bit of heads up. Alright, let's see. What is the collective message for today? What is the collective message for today? What's the collective message for today? It's you and you. It's you. Remember that advert? It's you. Yeah. Oh. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, I'm going to do it in the order that they came out. So, what, 2 messages. The first one we have is number 35. And it is the first chakra, Archangel Michael. So, we're dealing with our root today. So, we're dealing with the foundation. We're dealing with our root chakra today. We're dealing with all things. Have I got everything that I need? Warmth, shelter, you know, feeling safe, feeling secure. So maybe this is what the energy is today, to be focusing on that space. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Making sure the foundations of things are set. So if there is any insecurities in, or even instability, there's an energy of instability. If there's an instability energy, then it's going to be definitely directly rooted to your root chakra. Anytime your root chakra comes up, hey Keish, anytime your root chakra comes up, this is one of those, you know, notes to be like, right. So maybe you might be feeling a little bit tender, might feel a little bit outside of yourself. You may need a little bit more TLC today. This may be a day where you just focus on home improvements. Yeah, it feels like foundation-y, so more or less your home. Because we know all about the root chakra, foundation, stability, security, making sure you have everything that you need. So this could even be financial worry. Have I got everything that I need? I don't know how many of you are into the old seasonal stuff at the end of this month, but this usually makes people get very, very nervous. Root chakra's on 10. Everybody's just like, oh my gosh, need to make sure that that's there, make sure everyone's got what they need, etc., etc. So if that's the case, you're being told today to just slow it down, bring it right back to zero, bring it right back down to peace. Let's look about what is necessary, what is our foundations, what it is that we really need, and not the extra fandangles. And the extra fandangles is what's going to set us off, what's going to make us feel outside of ourselves, what is going to make us feel like we don't have everything that we need, especially if we're not able to deliver the things that we have promised or that we had anticipated to give, to see, to have done by now. So take care of yourselves today. Be gentle now, and you can call on Archangel Michael. He supports that root chakra, supports that, all the seasonal stuff, all of that. So just bringing it in, taking it back to the root. Hey, lovely. So the first card is the root chakra. So we know that that's all about foundation, security, having everything that you need. So today, be very gentle, take your time, work out what is really necessary. Don't let this seasonal stuff make you go crazy, make you feel like, oh my gosh, I need to do this, I need to do that. And it may not even just be the seasonal stuff. This is foundation, this is security, this is stability. So if you're feeling a little bit off kilter, you're being asked today to focus on one thing at a time, do not rush it. And to be mindful of what it is that you do have. As if this is coming from a real lack mentality, start taking your time. Be gentle with yourselves, okay? And then we've got Healer of the Ages. I love this card, 51. So this is a shout out to all of you who already don't know the power that you possess. You are the Healer of Ages. We have been the Healer of Ages. Yeah, especially us as the divine, natural woman. We have been the Healer of Ages. We are. So if we're dealing with our root chakra, this is going to need to be dealt with in order for us to conserve all the energy, to be able to distribute our healing energies and our powers. Because we have many people around us, especially as womb men, that they come to us for their healing, whether it be our own children, whether it be our family members. Sometimes even our partners need that little TLC. You get what I'm saying to you? So we are the healer of the ages. And you're being asked to conserve some of your energy. You're being asked to remember your divinity. Yeah? The healer of ages. So from the beginning of time. It's that type of energy. So the foundation of what it is that you stand upon, you need to start being sure. Stand on that firm ground. Understanding, all right, so I need to deal with me so that I can deal with the rest of the world. So I can use my womb for the healing. So I can use my energy of love, my nurture, my natural nature to help serve my family, my friends, the wider community, and the universe. That is how strong we are, ladies. The universe. Yeah? Hey, Kaka. So this energy is all about reminding us that we are the healer of ages. That this root chakra energy, dealing with the inners, dealing with the fact that we need to feel stable. So doing one thing at a time, not rushing it. Our root chakra deals with foundation, making sure we have security, stability. We have all the things that we need, shelter, warmth. And this also goes with making sure we have everything for all of the family and friends that we have around us. So the pressure needs to be off. Do one thing at a time. Do one thing today that brings you closer to feeling that stability. One thing closer to ticking things off of your box. Because your root chakra is here to say, you need a little TLC. There's a lot of nerves and anxiety. And the nerves and anxiety is a blockage to that energy of who we are. The healer of ages. We are the natural people. We are the natural healers. So we must take time to refuel, remember who we are, the energy that we actually, possess, especially us as the womb men, and the brothers as well. But us as the womb men in particular, we need to take particular time for rest and rejuvenation. Yes, to be on the go. Yes, to do everything that we are supposed to do, because we like to tick things off of our boxes too. I'm a great tick. I've done that now, and that brings me great joy. So if we can really remember this healer of ages energy, we are the natural healers, but it must start with ourselves. We must bring ourselves back to that divine peace so that we are able to activate that energy. Because regardless of what it is that we're doing, we are affecting the energy around us anyway. So it would be our due diligence, it would be within our best interest to pull from a full cup. If you don't feel full, this is the time where you take your time to fill your cup. You take your time. Especially us as women, we must take our time sometimes. We are in this rat race and we've got to do what everybody else does, but we've got to remember that there is a time and a space for us to take it in and conserve that energy so that we are bringing out the right type of energy, because we are being... we're needed in all types of facets right now. All of us, we all play a major part in the awakening of the universe. Especially if you realize the power of the womb, the power of the divine energies coming together, that masculine and that feminine, recognizing our position, the nurturing, the space that we take. Because there is definitely a space for action and getting things done, especially when we're talking about our root chakra. Yes, we want to get things done. Yes, we want to make sure that our children and our family have everything that they need. However, we can't be so focused on the lack thereof, because this sets in instability. It sets in that feeling of not having enough. Then comes the, I don't have... Then sets in the depression or the doubt or the anxiety, and we really don't have time for all of that. For the long run, we understand that this is a part of it. The root always needs a bit of attention. Okay, just for us to remember. Can you see this healer has got the heart chakra all the way on 10? It's our heart, and the heart chakra was yesterday as well. So the more we deal with our chakras, the more we deal with our inner being, the more that we are able to be that true healer of ages. We have been the healers from the beginning of time. Eons. We are the natural healers of this planet. You've got to think about all of their chemistry and all of their science is based upon we. Yeah? So that should even give you a little bit more of a boost in your, even in your confidence, but in your acknowledgement of where we stand in this great universe. We all are a piece of the great tapestry of this universe. We all are a puzzle piece, and we all are needed. All of us, every last one of us is needed to play our position. You may feel like it's a very small position, but it's a position nonetheless. So stay looking after yourself. Stay looking after your family, your brethren, your sister in them. You see me? And the wider communities. Because ultimately, we are going to be the ones to bust certain things. We are going to be the ones to bust the seal. You see me? Yeah. And we need to be cognizant of that power, because there is a tendency to feel defeated, Love it. Right. So, yes, there is decisions to make. Okay. So some of us are walking through this unsure, blindfolded. Yeah. This is that feeling of feeling under attack. I know I've got to do something. It's like people wah in your ears. It's like the crows of my guan. I want to go over there. It's all too much over there. It's too heavy. It's too rough. What's going on in the world's terrible. I just want peace and happiness and kindness and fair dues. We all want the same thing, but there are certain energetic things that we can be doing to support what's going on. And we know that all the horrible stuff that is going on is necessary to pull this divinity out of us. What is it going to take for us to say, nah, that they've gone too far now? How many more children need to go through stuff? How many more of us need to see stuff before we actually say, no. We need to pull our energies together. We need to do a collective meditation. We need to do a collective clearing out of certain energies, and not from a place of, always from a place of lack or sadness, but from the power that we recognize that we all have. So if we all put that collective energy into a specific area, and we're saying, right, we're just going to be dealing with the enlightening of our children, the enlightenment of ourselves and our children. So then we're switching on our power centers. We're switching on. Our root chakra is up. Our heart chakra is up. And we're also functioning from that third eye vision, not looking at our two eyes. So the two eyes is what causes us the grief and the pain. That is why she bandage. She don't want to see the truth. She don't want to see how horrible and nasty this place really is. Folks be horrible out here. But even them, they play their position and their role to force us out of our comfort zones, to remind us who we be. Reminds me of the scene from Avatar when they're around the tree. That's the levels. Cass, that is what I'm talking about that collective energy. See when them all are going around that, yes, and it was getting there, yes. That collective energy is exactly what I'm talking about. So there is going to be change. There is a death to one way of seeing things. There is a death to the one-sided view. There is a death to that energy and a rebirth. So you are changing your perception, honing in on your skills and your abilities, and remembering who you are, loving on yourself and taking those regular breaks. Don't burn yourself out thinking the more that you do in this frantic short time, it's better in the long run. No. Slow and steady wins the race. Less confusion, less mistakes. You take your time, because things are changing, whether you see it right now or not. Things are happening. And then we've got the Queen of Swords. So yes, we're going to be cutting out people, places and things that are stagnating our energy. Cutting out them negative thoughts, the lack thereof within our root chakras, what we do not have. Cutting away at that energy of feeling like we don't have enough to set apart this healing, to do our due diligence. We are changing our focus. The Queen of Swords ain't for jokes. She's about making things happen. And not in a real, she's not always cutty and because she's in the upright. If she was down like this, I'd be like, oh, I don't know how many of you are out there cussing folk. I misbehave. Tell people about their war and their bees heats. But because she's upright, I know that this is a focus space. This is, I need to do stuff. I got ish to do. I need to work with this person and that person to create something, to move my idea along. So I know I'm about to affect this universe in a big way. So we need to cut away all of the narrow-minded things, the stuff that don't serve us no more, the insecurities and the doubts from that root chakra. I love that energy because we are gone, we are move. And there is a death of that tired view where we're just bawling and crying about how it looks. But there isn't any true action towards the remedy. True action towards any resolve. So we're moving in. We're stepping up. We're realising we've been the healer of ages and we've got some healing to do. We've got to look after ourselves, love on ourselves, so that we've got enough beans in the tank for everybody else. Because regardless, they're going to still keep coming. The first card we have from our love activation is responsibility. You are aware that the power of your thoughts and the amount of love you express. I'm going to say it again, responsibility. You are aware of the power of your thoughts and the amount of love you express. So this is going straight into the responsibility that we have. The limiting thoughts reduce the amount of love that we're able to give. If we feel like we don't deserve, we don't receive the amount of energy and love that people are giving to us. And our responsibility is to be mindful of what we're thinking. So those limiting self-doubts need to be put in check. One thing at a time. This ain't a thing to beat yourself up and be like, yeah, for real, because my thoughts have been so negative this week. It's, you know what? I can do better. Every day I'm going to watch myself. And every time I catch myself saying something funky or off key about myself or anybody else, I'm going to look within and understand I've got a responsibility. I've got a responsibility to turn that on its head. You know, be first kind to myself so that I can emit that love. And then we've got the past. Through the power of love, you release any stagnant situations or energies in order to transform your heart space. And there it is again. Like I said, we've got that death and rebirth. So the death of that old energy, clinging on to those things that make you feel some type of way. Understanding that it's already gone. The only way that you can heal that is to look at it objectively and to understand why you were put in that position, why you were put in that space, and work out what upgrades you are here to get based on those situations, based on what you've learned. Kindness. You are a humanitarian made of love, pure nature, yeah? And you are able to share that energy with others. So, those who you feel that lack around, send that kind and loving energy to your brothers and your sisters today. Especially those who you worry about. Especially those who you feel like, oh my gosh, I'd love for them to be further along on their spiritual journey, or I'd love for them to be wow. Your responsibility is to feed that energy, is to push that energy out. Worry and all of that, pitying people, thinking that you're better or you're in a better position is not helpful to you. You know, because the more you look at other people, the less likely you're looking at yourself. And everybody's where they're meant to be to show you a thing, inspire you, or light a fire underneath yourself. You understand me? We've got that release energy. You are able to give over unwanted energies to the loving force of the universe. Yes, give it over, release it. One thing at a time. This healing thing ain't no joke. And remember, it says the healer of the ages. So we know that we are healing generational stuff. Stuff where you feel like, this doesn't belong to me. I don't understand why I feel like this. Why is this attached to me? Why do I have that? But we understand, we must start to begin to understand that we are the upgrades. We are here to keep elevating. This is the evolution. We are the evolution of our parents. Our parents are the evolution of their parents. Our children are our evolution of us. And that is how the universe and people keep evolving. So let's keep pouring more into ourselves so that there's less things for our children to do. You know, we inherit the things that our parents haven't even dealt with. So let's help out the future generations by pouring into ourselves, dealing with those breaking those chains so that they have less chains to break. And they're going to have their own set of aura. You could only imagine what their future's going to look like, you know, unless we take this moment over. But the last one we have is cause and effect. You are aware that the love that you create in your thoughts is the agent of change and the foundation of your results. I'm going to say it one more time again because you know I love the cause and effect. You are aware that the love you create in your thoughts is an agent of change and the foundation of your results. So we need to start thinking about how positive and bright we want to see our children's futures, how bright we want to see our own futures, taking our time to deal with that root chakra, healing, taking some time, making them decisions that we feel that is hard, changing some of our viewpoints, and just cutting out some of those things that are not necessary. One thing at a time. Please don't rush it. And please don't beat up yourself. That is not the object. That is not what we need to be doing. So lastly, let's get some affirmations or some words of wisdom, love, light and healing to finish this spread here. It's been very enlightening spread today. So it's talking to our inside, real root of it all. Why you do the things you do. You know, start to challenge those things. So what's the first one? We had that come out. I love without fear. I love without fear. I love without fear that somebody's going to do me a wrongin'. I love without fear, feeling like I'm not going to get what it is that I feel I should have got out of this situation. All the energy that I've put in. I love without fear. Understanding that it's about my contribution to the energy, to the flow. Okay, I love without fear. I give it freely as I understand that whatever I give, I receive. Okay. Oh, I love this one. Money equals energy. It flows in and it flows out. So anybody that's dealing with that lack mentality from that root, do I have enough peas? Whether it be for this seasonal stuff or whether it just be in general home improvements, about keeping things up. Money equals energy. It flows in and it flows out. So you're going to have times. But if you are not worried about the flow and you are positive about the flow, it just keeps coming in and out. Just like how the world just keep going round and round. Yeah? So take the fear part out of it. Take your time bit by bit. And then we have, I make decisions from a place of love. So I make decisions from a place of love. I'm not making decisions from a place of fear, from a defensive space. I'm making decisions based on love, based on what it is that I wish to see, my highest intentions, what I want, what I feel is necessary and going to be good for the wider collective. And the last one we have is, I erase the word should from my vocabulary. I erase the word should from my vocabulary. Oh, there was more cards. One moment. Sorry, I can't not put them up. I look for the answers within. I look within for the answers, rather. I look within for the answers because they're there. They're there. And even this medium that I'm using right now, this is what I've been blessed with. But you don't need to hang your whole hat on it because you know that realistically when you come to listen, you come to hear what you already know in your body just as confirmation. And that is why our ancestors and our spirit guides and our angels put these mediums in place just to say, just in case you didn't hear me the first time, just in case you don't trust yourself, just in case. That is why there's so many different things out there for people to tap into. So the answers are within, yes. Okay. I establish boundaries based on love. I establish boundaries based on love. Based on your highest intentions, based on what you know you can manage and what you're able to give freely and lovingly. I like that. Last one is, I am present. Yes, we're there. Dealing with today. Dealing with what needs to be done today to relieve our brain, to stop stressing out about tomorrow, next week, next year. I am present. Let's do it today. What can you do today to make you feel better, to move you closer to your goal. So my darlings, that has been your daily energy reading. I hope it was beneficial. I hope you got the confirmations that you needed. Be kind to yourself. Take it easy. Do one thing at a time. Just keep moving. It might, do you know what? If it's pausing, it might even be my internet is acting up. But I'm hoping that you was able to get the energy, get the messages that you needed, and much love for the rest of your day. Much love.